In this video, the results of our practice, ketogenic refeed, and show day. Just finished a hard workout at 2 weeks out from the NPC Northern Classic. This is going to be my first bodybuilding show in 3 years, making a comeback on an all meat-based diet. So you heard that correctly, absolutely no carbs. I'm going to cover the last 24 hours, everything that I ate and how we trained all the way until now. And before we get started, do a friend of yours a really big favor and think of someone that you know that likes to eat meat, likes to work out, likes to look good, likes to be healthy. Share this video with them, okay? You can share this video on the link below. Hit subscribe. When you hit the subscribe button, it turns into a bell. Make sure you hit that bell so that you get notified, because I'm gonna be updating my entire contest prep from here on out in the form of vlogs on our YouTube channel, Skullbellz TV. Thank you so much for subscribing. Looking forward to seeing that. And thank you for sharing with a friend. All right, let's get right into it. This is refeed meal. We're gonna eat all of this food today. Aren't we, girl? Yep, you're gonna help me because that is for you. So this is a practice peak week. We cannot mess this up. We only got a couple of these left, but this worked so good last time. There's a couple of modifications that we're gonna make. Everything in pink is different from last week. Didn't have time to make a new sheet, so this is what we're gonna do. A refeed meal is not an all-out binge. This is all strategic food that is good for you, that is gonna help me look my best on stage for one day. And then we go back to the grind, get ready for the next show. Okay, so this is what we have. We have 35 grams of salt, Redmond sea salt and also Celtic sea salt. I mix the two together, cannot go wrong with either of them. This little shot glass here is what I have to use throughout the rest of the day. So I might put it in my water, might put it on the avocados. It doesn't really matter how you get that sodium in, and if I can't get it all in, then I'll just dry shoot it right before I go to bed. Kind of savage here, following the keto savage, so I'm okay with being a little savage myself. Working out at Cascade, excuse me, no, I'll be working out at home tomorrow. And yeah, tonight's supposed to be date night, but Taylor being out of town, I guess we're gonna have to drink our wine together over the phone. That wine helps me sleep better, helps me dry out, helps all of this food digest better. This is a layer cake Shiraz, one of our absolute favorites. It is so darn good. Really hitting the electrolytes hard too, which we got up here on the same shelf as all the rest of our metabolic nutrition supplements. They are sponsoring this show for me. We've been reselling their products on our website, so you can find all of this at supersetyourlife.com. Absolutely amazing company, just a joy to work with all of them. So thank you guys so much for all that you do. ESP, oh boy, this watermelon pre-workout is absolutely amazing. It is so good. I'm glad that we started adding that. And then that is our flagship product right there, creatine glycerol phosphate. If you want samples of any of this stuff, you just let me know. Except for the toothbrush, we don't sample those. But supplement wise, we are more than happy to let you try whatever it is that catches your eye. These are the hardcore pre-workouts. I only take those on heavy leg days. All right, so back to our sheet. Now we have a scoop of metabolic nutrition, BCAA. That's what we're gonna use to break the fast with, get that mTOR stimulated and get some food into our stomach sooner rather than later. That was the problem last time, is I did not start eating soon enough, so I woke up pretty bloated, and I was up until midnight eating all this food. I mean, it is so much food. It's gonna be probably closer to 3,300 calories today with the modifications that I'm making. Okay, so this is pretty much what I eat every single day, and this too, but that is going to be, it's in green because it's added. It's more than twice as much. It's like basically 3 or 4 times as much steak and avocado as I normally eat in a day. So delicious. And then we're gonna have some chicken thigh and some pulled pork, avocado, and I just throw it all together, put it in the air fryer. Underneath is where all of the fat will gather up, and so when that happens, I take the steak. You'll see this later. I put it in the bacon grease, throw it back in the air fryer, and that gets it nice and crispy, gets rid of most of the fat. Eggs are going to be poached, and those are going to be in my bone broth. That's pretty much it on the sheet. The teas have been helping big time with digestion, so I've been getting big into the ginger tea game. This is a mug that my wife made for me for Father's Day. It's got all 3 of our kids on it, including you, girly. She's getting bored from the video recordings. It's gonna be a feast today. Now time to go hit the gym. Post-workout meal. It is now officially 7:00 p.m. So way later than we are than what was planned. But got some good video footage and had a good day at the gym. So anyway, these are dog treats and the only ingredient is freeze-dried liver. Zion was nice enough to share some with me. Here you go, sweetheart. She's keeping me company in the office, and yeah, we're gonna do some video editing, write some client workout plans. This is bone broth, and I poached 2 eggs in it. Oh my gosh, it is so absolutely delicious. See how we did. Did we break the yolk? Nope, the yolks are solid, but that's okay. Runny yolks in soup is kind of weird, so yeah, this is gonna be a good meal. Whoops, spilled a little bit there. Pro tip though, with wine, especially red wine, put it next to whatever you're cooking, not too close, but that warms it up a little bit, brings out that flavor. Let it sit for a good half hour. It pairs wonderfully with the steak. It's layer cake Shiraz. Yeah. This is about halfway through cooking everything. Like to get everything that is fatty, especially the bacon, cooked in the air fryer first, and then the fat drains off into the tray underneath. So then I put the steak in the tray that goes in the air fryer. Been air frying steak lately. This is what it looks like after it's air fried. Haven't got it quite down to where it's as good as like actually using a barbecue or a cast iron skillet or anything, but you cannot beat the convenience. It's so fast. It also cooks out a lot of the fat too. So this is what we call the Ta Hagiah. This is where I do my deep dive Bible study. Ta Hagiah in Hebrew means most holy place. This is part of my bedtime routine. Boy, oh boy, that meal turned out good. I think it took me about an hour and a half and maybe a little bit over that to eat it. I like to take my time, listen to some jazz, unwind. That was a really smart idea, putting the wine right in front of the candle, because it kept the wine nice and warm. It was a little chilly last night, but not too hot to where it was anything that would ruin the wine tasting experience. And Zion likes to camp out right next to me while I'm doing my thing. Got her that little bone. She's still gnawing on it. This is the sound system that I have to listen to jazz. Been listening to Portland jazz radio every single night, and I don't think I've heard a bad song that they've been playing ever. They always have good music, always. The only area where I really messed up was putting that candle underneath those CDs, so I've moved it since then. But it started melting one of the CDs. Definitely a fire hazard. That red light that you see up there, if you read Sean Stevenson's book, Sleep Smarter, I got that out of that book. But red light is very helpful for unwinding late at night. Helps your body's natural circadian rhythm get into the proper mode so that you can produce melatonin and get a good night's sleep. Zion knows that she always gets the first bite. So what I'm doing here is having her wait And then when I give her the command by snapping my fingers, bam, that tells her that it's time to eat. And then she gets to go eat her piece. And she knows that that's the last treat that she gets for the day. And that's just for being a good dog. This was mind-blowing. First thing the next morning, I was actually in deeper ketosis than normal, even after drinking wine and having 300 to 350 grams of protein. The next day was a busy one. I had a lot of office work to do, and so we made a bit of an office marathon out of it. Here I am with my Skullbellz homemade curl bar, available on our website, supersetyourlife.com. We got 2 left in stock, and then we're going to be making some new ones, so make sure that you're subscribed to our newsletter and to our YouTube channel for that, and you will definitely be notified when we start banging out more of these suckers. Let's get this competition out of the way first, and then we'll start getting back into the manufacturing mode. Okay, so it is 4:30 p.m. and we just got some arms and some shoulders done. Cutting water right now, and we're gonna see how we look after drying out in about a half hour. Feeling energized, feeling good, feeling strong, feeling full, a little bit bloated. Finished most of this, a couple gallons of water, haven't really tracked it yet. Pump formula, all metabolic nutrition supplements. And I'm gonna consume my first meal of the day. We're gonna split it actually. All it is a whole bunch of bacon. Been feeding Zion some snacks here and there. That's what she gets for being a good sport and for working out with me. Thanks, girlie. Such a good dog. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna cover it in Redmond real salt. That's what my coach always taught me how to do, was to, when you cut water, increase sodium, gets the water into the muscle cells where you want it. So yeah, let's see how we look right now. First time ever of this season using the competition trunks. Wear these guys on stage. What do you think? I think we look kind of dry. Okay, let's do a quick run through of all the mandatory poses. I gotta pee right now too, which is super inconvenient, but you gotta pee on stage too. So if that happens on stage, you gotta learn how to work around it and still hold your poses. The judges don't care who has to pee and who doesn't have to pee. I should have put my best posing trophies behind me. Definitely have a few of those from the 3 years that I competed 3 years ago. Competed for 3 years, did 8 shows over the course of 3 years, took a 3-year break to put on some muscle, come back more competitive, and here we are. And I'm feeling rusty on the poses, and so I'm really having to. I hired another coach. I've been spending some more time on these, but I'm also cramping up, as you can see, and kind of burnt towards the end of the day with the bit of a late start that we got and everything. But from what we can see here, though, we got. Let's see. I'm definitely feeling watery, but feeling full though. Glutes are looking great. Conditioning is looking great. At this point, I'm just trying to not lose any more mass, and so I've actually reduced cardio and increased calories in an attempt to get a little bit closer to the higher end of the weight class. I just need to weigh under 197 pounds, and I am weighing about 187. I weighed 187 in the morning of this video, and I weighed 187 the night before, and 187 pounds also the night at night. So it hasn't really mattered if I dehydrate or if I fill up. I mean, I can feel a difference, and I can see a difference in the in the mirror. But for whatever reason, I'm still hovering under 190 pounds, which is making me a little bit nervous. I don't want to lose to guys that are just bigger than me. Took some detailed notes so that we could remember what worked, what didn't work. So thought this would be a good one to share. Huh, girl? Did you have fun playing with your friend? Okay. You go back and play. So we started with weighing ourselves, and weighed 187.2 pounds before consuming the meal. And then after that, consumed bone broth. This was way later than I intended Friday night. Let's see, started eating dinner and didn't finish dinner until 2 o'clock 2 o'clock a.m. We woke up at 8 o'clock and took a big poop. I mean, this is TMI maybe, but this is all stuff that we need to keep in mind because that could be a problem on show day if that happens on stage. So I'm trying to figure out when this is happening and when my bowel movements are so that when it's competition time, we know what to expect. All right, so then did some Bible study, played some games with Zion. This blew my mind again. 32 ACE ketones, still in ketosis after that huge meal, all that protein and the wine. Thought for sure I'd be out of ketosis, but I guess not. So that's encouraging. That means that it's definitely going to help me stay fuller on show day. All right, and then started drinking some water, had breakfast, and then warmed up on the treadmill a little bit. At the show venue, I'll just go for a walk outside, but because of my foot, I just decided to step on my treadmill where there's no surprises, and I was able to take care of some business on my phone too. It's kind of hard to do when I'm walking around outside, but on show day, I like to start the day by just going for a brisk walk outside. And then at 11:30, started sipping on the on my hydration drug, and these are all metabolic nutrition supplements except for the Relight. Those are electrolytes, but that's my pump. I mean, this is just the same stuff that I drink every single day when I work out, and I get some pretty good photos and some good vascularity there, so if it's not broken, don't fix it. Finished prepping my meals around noon, just for the rest of the day, not for a show day or anything, and then hit 20 minutes in the on the treadmill. Definitely would not do the stair mill. And the only reason I did that was because I just had work to do. And so I'm like, okay, if I got work to do on my iPhone, then I will do that on the treadmill and get some cardio out of the way. Got me nice and warm too. Started doing bicep curls in the office like you saw in the video. While I was in the office, got some tricep work done, some rear delts. I mean, actually got a good hard workout. 12 sets of shoulders. By that time I was in my gym and working out in there, and hit some abs. Drank pretty much the entire workout jug that we just explained during the course of all this. And then I cut it at 4:30 p.m. Hit the mandatory poses, and that was hydrated. And then took about an hour break. Ate some bacon, cut water, had some salt and some apple cider vinegar, and then did this pump circuit here. Basically just all the body parts that I didn't hit earlier throughout the rest of the day. So it was a little bit longer of a workout than normal, nothing too crazy. But put that glycogen to some good use, and still felt full. Never really felt flat the entire day. That was nice. And that brings us all the way into now. And here we are back an hour later. It is now about 5:45 p.m. and I'm definitely looking drier. I don't know if you can see it in the video as well, but when I was able to get up close to the mirror, definitely had some better vascularity. Glutes are still looking great. I noticed it most in the obliques. My obliques really started coming out more. I've never been licked during so many workouts as at my at-home workouts. Thank you very much to Zion. But that company makes these lonely workouts and this otherwise lonely workout experience quite a bit more enjoyable. So having her company has been amazing. She's going to be backstage with me. She's going to fly to Nebraska with me. She's been a trooper, and she is with me every step of the way. This lat spread, I'm liking the lat spread a lot more now than I used to. I've never really been comfortable in that pose, but with the mass that I've been able to put on with the lean carnivore bulk over the last year, that has been very, very helpful in building up my upper body to be able to feel more confident holding that one. This is the side tricep pose. Rear double bicep. I like to touch my glutes and my hamstrings before hitting this pose because it helps with the mind muscle connection and get them set. I also know I'm going to have some of the best conditioned legs on the stage, and so anything I can do to draw the judge's attention to my legs is something that I like to do because not every male competitor has that. If anybody beats me, it's going to be because they have more mass. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this entire video. And if I can leave you with any piece of advice, remember when you compete, if you are a competitor, you can only do what's in your control, and that's posing and conditioning. Mass at this point, it's already said and done. You're just showing the hard work that you've put in. If you get beat by another competitor, don't take it personally. Don't blame it on the judges. That's the time where you need to look in the mirror and go, hey, I gave it everything that I absolutely had.